Part 1, Extension A, the observable container. Part of the source of existence is a three-dimensional eternal container. The container is infinite in extent in all 6 directions: up, down, right, left, back, and forth.
This is January 3rd, 2010. I would continue talking about reality as having many parts, one of which is an infinite container, and the understanding that the container and what it contains is eternal. We're talking about things that are eternal, not created and not destroyed. And I operationally define this container God. This is an extension of the discussion from yesterday, where we give some detail that in this three-dimensional reality, from your point of view, any other point, a finite distance away, can be characterized by 3 linearly independent coordinates along 3 axes, which are defined by 6 directions, pairs of opposites: up, down, right, left, back, and forth. And we'll talk about your point of view, or my point of view, since I'm here in the video. Let's say here is where my point of view starts. Then this looks like my left hand in the video, so I'll take it to be my left hand. And let's say this is left. And we could say at the end of this is where the point is. This is a one-dimensional line segment, piece of a line, and it could go the opposite direction. And between these two, that is a line segment that, if extended infinitely to the right and to the left, it would be an axis with infinite extent. We could take a unit of measure and measure the distance that this point is along this right-left axis to my left in the video. I say my left in the video because this camera reverses right and left hand. That's confusing, but it's confusing in physics too, so don't worry about it. You know your right hand and your left hand. Now that's one dimension. Now we could talk about not just how far out, but how far up. This far out and this far up. Up and down are another axis. Going through my point of view, it's up here. So it's out here to my left and up here to up. 2 coordinates. And we can measure, use a unit of measure to talk about how far up and how far to the left, to my left, to your right. All right, that's 2 of the 3 dimensions. They're independent, and there's a third. So we could talk in terms of a box that is so far out. You can see the out dimension. So far out, so far to my left, your right, and so far up. And we could take and very easily measure this and give a number to the dimension that goes to the left, the dimension that goes up, and the dimension that goes back. So, 3 linearly independent dimensions. One point that's worth noting here is this axis, 2 directions. Whatever you choose, you could say the other is the opposite direction. Give it a negative sign. These are arbitrary choices. The reality is the reality. You know it. In it, you live and move and have your being. And this eternal reality we call God, source of everything. And we'll talk more about that in the next video. Thank you.
In God we live and move and have our being. God is not created or destroyed.